Hello and welcome back to the Book Rookie. I'm Karen and today we're going to be talking about the Novella-thon. Whee! So in exactly 1 week I'm going to be hosting the Novella-thon. This is kind of a free-for-all reading challenge where you take 24 hours and you read as many novellas as possible. I'm going to be joining Marissa from Blatantly Bookish. We're going to be doing the Novella-thon together on that day. I'm so excited. So what I've got today is the TBR for that day. So it's quite a nice little package of books that I will be reading. So this is going to be a free-for-all. It's very open, very casual kind of reading challenge. But I did set some guidelines for some people who would be interested in such things. So the first guideline is that the books be under 175 pages and that they not be a play or a book of poetry. So typically what would normally be considered a novel, just under 175 pages. And then there are additional guidelines for the types of books that you pick out. So I'll explain those as I go along. So the first category is a classic. For this, I chose the classic sci-fi novel Cat's Cradle by Vonnegut. This is a book about Ice-9, which is a lethal chemical that can freeze the entire face of the earth. I really am excited about this because it sounded a lot like Dr. Strangelove, which is one of my favorite movies. I mentioned that in my last video. So pretty pumped for that. The next book in the category, the next category is a book by an author of color. For this, I chose The Autobiography of an Ex-Colored Man by James Weldon Johnson. I'm going to be reading this book anyway for the Classics of Color series, so I thought that I would kill two birds with one stone with this one. So this is a work of fiction, but it is very much similar to the life of James Weldon Johnson, about a man who has to decide between passing for white or living as a black man. The next category is a book from the new millennium, so anything from 2000 going forward. For this I chose The Fires by Alan Shez. I never figured out how to say that name. This is actually two novellas. One is about a woman who goes to Uzbekistan to carry out her husband's final wishes, and the second one, called The Exorcism, is about Tom Swanson, who retrieves his angry daughter after she set a piano on fire. So that should be interesting. Again, there are two novellas in this, so I might decide to just read one and then move on to the next novella, or I might decide to read both of them, depending on how I'm feeling. So the next category is a TV or movie title. For this, I chose Beasts of No Nation by Uzodinma Iweala. This is a book about a child soldier in an unnamed African nation. This, of course, is a Netflix movie with Idris Elba, which is like, oh my god. Like, Chris and I are both in love with him, so, you know. So, of course, when I saw this in the bookstore, I had to pick it up. It's a lovely edition, even though it's got some stains on it. It's got that nice, like, textured feel. So anyway, I'm going to be reading this. I haven't seen the movie, so I'm going into this blind, but I'm really pumped for this one. The next category is by an author that you've never heard of. For this, I chose Freitas Bed by Slavenka Drakulic. This is a reimagining of Frida Kahlo's life and her experience with chronic illness. So this is a novel about her experience. I think that this will be an interesting take on chronic pain. I've personally never read any sort of accounts about chronic pain. I've had friends who have had chronic pain, so this will be an interesting look at her life and on her experience. The last category is going to be a book that you already own on your shelf. So this is in an attempt to get people to read the books that they already own. I chose personally The Suicide Shop by Jean Teule or Jean Teule. This book is about a world where life has become so depressing that everybody has pretty much decided to commit suicide. As someone who suffers from mental illness, this is going to be, I'm interested to see how they treat suicide in this book. Suicide has definitely been a hot topic since 13 Reasons Why came out on Netflix. So, you know, suicide, of course, is a very sensitive topic, but it's also a very common experience. And so it seems that this book, based off of what I know of this book, seems to be a sort of satire on, you know, on suicide. So we shall see. So those are the books that I've got. Again, I will be doing this next Thursday on May 11th. If you guys would like to join in, let me know. Otherwise, you know, just do the Novellathon whenever you have time. I am very excited to be hosting this. So I will see you guys later. Bye.